Hello YouTube, and welcome back to another episode of The Novelist. In the last episode, we had a whole run-in with a lot of people staying with this family, and I chose some options that made Linda sad, but made Tommy and Dan a little bit better, so hopefully we're evening out a bit. I don't know really what I'm doing, or if I'm having a huge impact on anything. I just know that everyone is sad all the time. So, we're just gonna do a chapter an episode, I'm thinking. I think that's the easiest way to do this. So, what do we got?
Man, I just got off the phone with Mom. She told me about Grandma Jo. I know we expected it sooner rather than later, but this is hitting me so much harder than when Granddad died last year. Do you remember going to Grandma Jo's house after school on Wednesdays and playing until Mom got off work? How Grandma Jo always had a surprise for us, even if it was just cookies in the oven. She'd always time it so the whole house would smell like them when we got there. I hope the minister captures those little moments because they don't seem as little now. I wish the circumstances were different, but it will still be good to see you at the funeral. What am I saying? You probably won't even get this until after the funeral. I guess I just needed to write anyway. Love, Linda.
Aw. That actually hits me a bit harder. I didn't really make this very public. People in my Discord knew about it, but my grandma actually, my mother's mom just passed away like 3 weeks ago. So that's very fresh. That's very fresh and new. But we are gonna carry on. Unfortunately, Grandma Jo has passed away. Bless her heart. Okay, what's this one? Dan, big news. Got a call from Bracket Books in Eugene, and they want you to do a reading from Windsong. Maybe even some Q&A, book signings, all that good stuff. I think you should do it. In fact, I'm going to be pretty pissed if you don't. Bracket is a big outlet, so if this goes well, orders for the new book will definitely go up. I don't need to remind you how long it's been since Tramer's Way came out. If you don't keep your name out there, no one will even notice when you finish the new book, whatever it's called. Hell, speaking of the new one, why don't you read some of it too? Maybe the second chapter you sent me last month. That one was pretty good. Bracket Books, Eugene, the 21st. See you there. Paul. P.S. You know the long game, right? Nailing this one could mean a bigger advance on the next book. Okay. Please tell me we're not going to pass up the funeral for that. That would be real bad, I think. I think we'll have issues if we do that, Danny boy.
I gotta call Paul again.
Where are you people? There's a note down there. I want to get it. Oh, and there's a picture on the window. Damn it. Linda, go away. Oh, wait. What do I say? I don't know. I really don't know. There's not much to say. Was a heck of a sandcastle I made with the little guy. Aw. Keep it together for Tommy. Have to be the 21st. Okay, so it is the same day as the funeral. Great. Great. That's not a choice I want to make. That's not a choice I want to make in my life. I don't want to make it in theirs. Nuts, dude. Okay. Let's take a look-see.
Most of you here knew my grandmother. For those who didn't, I truly wish you had. She was an example for all of us. Her warmth, her caring, and her smile were impossible to forget. It's still hard for me to believe she's gone. Without her, the world is...
Man, oh man, this is a sad one. This is a sad situation.
Hey, buddy.
Alright, anything in the kids' bedroom? I am not sure how I'm gonna do this one. Because, in my mind, it comes spouse first, everything else second. So, with all the decisions I've made, I have put my job on hold. I've put my schooling on hold to make my relationship with my husband better, or to make everything work right. So I don't know. Maybe I have a really weird way of doing it, but now he wants to go to space. You ask for too much, Tommy. We can't go to space, alright? Space is expensive. Although with Space Force, you could probably enlist and then, alright, bye, there he goes. Mark the 21st of this month on your calendar. Oh, mark the first one. Okay. For one day only, watch the world-famous Fighter 5 as they scream across the sky. Witness death-defying feats of flying in a display unlike anything you've ever seen. Guaranteed to blow you away. Don't miss it. Okay, so a, what do you call? Flight show? Call Paul first thing tomorrow morning. Any possible way to move it? Is this thing announced yet? That's where I'm at. Where it doesn't exactly matter, you know, how well it's gonna... I don't know. This is tough. This is actually a tough one. Alright, I need her to get the fuck out of this room. Oh!
How's it going, Tommy?
I walked out to the bluff to remember Grandma Joe
She's
and
gonna see me.
say goodbye. And on the way back, I started thinking about what it really means to have a family. To make that your focus. She seemed to take such joy in being surrounded by her family, providing for them, taking care of them. I hope I never took that for granted. When I got back to the house, a question hit me that I can't get out of my head. What will Tommy think about Dan and me when he gets older? And what if Tommy has kids of his own? I can't even begin to think of myself as a grandmother. I haven't even been a mother for that long, and I'm still feeling my way through what it means to be a good one. At least I'll always have an example. I miss you, Grandma Joe, and I'll never forget you. I promise.
Well, that's just it, isn't it? That's all you can do, is never forget. No, Dan, don't come in here right now. Leave. Alright, I gotta get into her brain. Alright, what do we got going on in this sad, sad situation here? This one makes me hurt on the inside. Feels bad. Okay. What's up, girl?
Mom tried to hide it, but I can tell when she's disappointed. I hate that they couldn't come, especially after they tried so hard to make time. Maybe if she'd called before they changed plans, it would have gone smoother. It's impossible not to think about the rough patches Mom and Dad hit without thinking about Dan and me. I should bring that up to him and see what he says. He's mentioned their history before. I'd love to hear his answer when I make the comparison. Can he talk his way out of that one?
Okay, that's nasty. I don't know. That's kind of low. People... Not everyone has a good relationship with their parents, you know? Like... Don't compare him to his parents or to your parents. Don't compare anybody to anybody. It's you, it's not them. What's up, girl? Alright, well that makes me sad. I'll see you later. Oh. Nope, nope. Not what I want. Oh. Oh. Oh! She walked right through me. Didn't even notice. All right, let me see. Oh, I gotta read her thoughts. Okay, final clue for Linda. He needs to call and buy a ticket if he's coming to the funeral. Oh. Oh, so she would leave Dan here. Of course she would. That was her grandmother. Of course she'd leave him here. Oh. That's a messy one. This is messy. This is a messy situation. Alright, did I already look at that? I did. Spaceman, okay. Hey, Tommy, what's going on? Dad says the candy store is our secret. Oh. Like a stash of candy. I haven't been in here yet. Alright, let's see. What's up? You get anywhere in your book, dude?
Oh, no. Joe's funeral's the same day as the
Damn.
signing in Eugene. And Paul says they can't move it. He'll understand if I bail because he knows Linda, but Grovefield is a different story. They won't give a damn why I missed it. They'll just get a memo and put it in a spreadsheet somewhere and write me off just a little bit more. And it's not just the timing. If I do the reading, I've got to get that chapter in shape. It's not even remotely ready for anyone to see it. Can't worry about what Paul says. He's my agent. He's supposed to stroke me. And what about Tommy?
No.
Yeah, I am still in the exact same spot. Okay, and he is in a ship. So Tommy wants to go to the flight show. Grandma died, so we're not doing that. Okay, what's up, Tommy? Show me into your brain. Still sad-faced with his dad. I'm trying, buddy. I'm trying.
Is she in heaven?
I'm sure she is, honey.
That's probably like the first experience with death, you know? It's hard. The magazine says there are going to be tons of planes. Does the flight show take place on the day of the funeral? Because that would be great. More things on the day of the funeral, please. Come here, Dan. Come here, Dan. Okay. Whoops. Okay.
Ty and Kelly just pulled out of the driveway. Still glad they came, but I know it wasn't exactly what they had planned. I think they were a little surprised and bummed out not to be the only guests, and it definitely cut into our riding time. Oh well. We did get one afternoon to fish, but we didn't do much more than talk about our books. We didn't even get a chance to sit down and read each other's pages. Still better than nothing, I guess.
I mean, it is better than nothing, but there's a lot going on, man. A lot more.
Just be here for me.
Lynn, I'm so sorry. Tell me what I can do.
Shit. Do some serious work on that chapter? No. No, no, no. So, with my thinking on how this one's going, with me and my husband's relationship, we have a really great relationship. It's really solid. We've known each other for 7-8 years now, so it's really solid. But in my mind, what happens in this kind of situation is it's always been spouse first for me. And that might be easier for me to say because we don't have a kid. Because we're young, we have all this time in the world, but even in this situation, their marriage is like hanging on by a thread. So I really feel like Dan needs to go to the funeral. I feel like we need to sympathize with Linda a bit here because she's going through this horrible loss of her grandmother, and I mean that can't just be ignored. So we are gonna get him a ticket. Yes. Okay. Yep, we're gonna do that. We're doing that one. 110%. So who do we compromise with? Maybe we compromise with Dan. We do some work on the chapter with Dan. Because he will be sacrificing things to go to this funeral. He will be sacrificing time to work on his book. So maybe we'll do that. Yeah. We'll do that. Alright, Danny boy. Hello. Okay, go ahead. I'm screwing up these people's lives. Am I God? Am I? Dan couldn't bear the thought of Linda going to the funeral alone, so he bought a ticket and flew to Denver with her. The funeral was hard for Linda, but having Dan there made it easier to bear. They stayed up late the night of the funeral as Linda told Dan stories about Grandma Jo, and they talked of maybe being grandparents themselves one day. Tommy didn't go to the funeral? Dan talked Paul into a compromise. He would work on the chapter and send it to Paul as soon as he could, then Paul would try to talk Brackett into including an excerpt in their quarterly in-store preview. It won't have the same impact as personal appearance, but it will still build some awareness. When Dad told Tommy they wouldn't be able to go to the show, Tommy had a crying fit and tried to tear up the magazine. It worried his parents. He hadn't thrown a fit like that for almost a year. It was exactly the kind of thing they'd hoped to avoid by spending the summer in such a quiet, peaceful place. And that's how the Kaplan's first month at the house on the cliff came to an end. Well, Dan sent what he had so far to Paul. It went badly. Dan knew the work wasn't very good, and Paul echoed that judgment. He promised to keep the news from Grovefield for the time being, but told Dan that without a major improvement in quality, the book might not be publishable. Oh! The next day, Dan made good on a promise to take Tommy into the woods and look for arrowheads, though he barely had the time. Tommy could tell his father was disinterested, but once he found an arrowhead, his spirits improved a bit. Dan waited until while Tommy explored but didn't join in, and shortly after Tommy found the lone arrowhead, they returned home. Okay. A few nights later, Dan and Linda got a babysitter and drove into town for a date. Dan surprised Linda by giving her a necklace he'd snuck into town to buy the day before, and Linda surprised him back when she gave him a watch he'd had his eye on. When they got home, they crept upstairs, made sure Tom was asleep, and then made love like it was their wedding night again. Cool. Very good. They still had 2 more months on the coast, and their story was just beginning. Okay. I'm fucking up the sun really bad. The inheritance from the dead grandma, because that's not... Okay, Dan got a letter with some surprising... Someone has turned off a few lights in the house. Lights that have been turned off cannot be possessed. Why the fuck would you do that? I'm God. I need the lights. But we are going to end this episode here. Chapter and episode until we hit the end of this game, guys. So, interesting. I think it's interesting still. It's throwing a lot of heavy stuff, but I feel like that's the impact of the game. The impact is, it's going to change based on people. If you have somebody that's more dedicated to working, they might side more with Dan. Or if you have somebody that's more empathetic, sympathetic, then they might side more with Linda. Or if you have somebody who has children, they might side more with Tommy. Like, it's very interesting, and I feel like I'm a weird mishmash of all 3 because I don't have a good relationship with my parents. Unfortunately, I do not. I don't see much from Tommy. I feel a lot for Linda. I'm a very empathetic, sympathetic, I don't know what kind of person, but at the same time, I'm very blunt. I'm not one to sugarcoat. I'm not a huge person of like, when I give advice, it's hard advice, and that's the thing about me that no one likes. So, and then I've never been like one to put work first, and that sounds awful, but I don't have a career path yet. I don't have my degree. I'm working minimum wage. I've never been one to put it first, and that sounds really bad, and that's gonna bite me in the ass 10 years down the road. But I have trouble siding with any of them. So it's more situational based rather than who the people are, and that's interesting, but it also takes away from the game when you build up these characters, but I don't feel anything for them, just for the situations they're going through. It's interesting so far. I hope that it kind of picks itself back up, but I am going to end this episode here, guys. We'll have another one next week, and I'm going to charge my camera, edit a bunch of stuff, and then record some more tonight. So, thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you liked it, then please leave me a like or a comment down below the video. And if you liked me, then please subscribe today for some more content in the future. Make sure to check out links to the developer in the description, guys. And check out the links to the game and the game's website where you can learn more about it, because it is interesting. And it does change a lot based on what you decide. So it is worth looking at. So check out those links, guys. And that is the end of my spiel. So... have a fantastic day and or night out there, wherever you are, ladies and gentlemen, and please stay safe. Much love to your faces. I will see you guys in the next video. Voice cracking. Bye.